right.
What's your first childhood memory? Like, as far as you can go back.
What?
What's your first childhood memory, like, as far as you can go back?
Regarding you?
No, regarding you.
Oh.
This is an interview about your life.
Oh. Well, I remember when I was about 5, 6 years old that I had 6 brothers and 1 sister.
Mm-hmm. And your parents' names were?
My parents' name,
Mm-hmm.
my father name was Antolin,
Mm-hmm.
like my name, and my mother was Teresa.
Mm-hmm. And what did they do?
Well, my father was he was a baker.
Mm-hmm.
He was in charge. He was the chief of the bakery for the whole town, for the whole city. Not a city. It's like about 5,000 people.
Wow.
You know, it was a sugar mill that only worked. People worked for about 5, 6 months a year. But my father worked every day because the bakery had to provide bread to all the inhabitants of that city.
Wow. What was the city called?
Miranda.
Miranda.
Central Miranda. Central is like a mill.
Mm-hmm.
Central Miranda in Oriente Province in Cuba.
Mm-hmm. So your dad was the baker who provided for everyone.
Well, him and he has about 3 or 4 other people, doing the bread for the whole town.
Mm-hmm. So it was like his. It was.
He worked for the the owner of the this mill, sugar mill,
Mm-hmm.
that was owned by the American, an American company in Cuba. So he worked all year around because everybody has to eat bread.
Mm-hmm.
So all the people that work in the factory, the sugar factory, only work about 4 months, maybe 5 months a year, and they didn't do anything in the rest of the year. So it was very important, job he had, because that was bread was the main.
Source of food.
Yeah. And it's he was a terrific guy. He was a master, making the bread, and he had to work all year round. He did. Maybe he had a couple of weeks during the year, vacation time, but everybody else in this town only work about 4 or 5 months a year.
And this was all way before Fidel.
Oh yeah, that was in around 1940, 38, 40.
Mm-hmm. You want me to make you a
Yeah.
tamale while you talk?
Yeah.
Okay. And your mother, what did she do?
Take care of 7 kids.
That was a big job.
And, we were poor, but,
Happy?
we had a happy, yeah. We have all the bread we can eat all day long, Yeah. So there was no cause for, every morning one of my brothers or me, go to the bakery that was about 5, 6 blocks away, and get a big, how do you say that? Un saco de
A sack of potatoes?
no, not a sack of potato, a sack of bread.
Oh, a sack of bread.
Yeah. And you know, I or one of my brothers go to the bakery and fill it up, you know, for breakfast, for lunch, for you know. So we were all well fed, you know.
And you
We
were
had 3 meals a day, and you know, it was a happy life. We play a lot of baseball. We play, you know, there was something to do. We play marbles. We, we, you know, on Sunday, my father used to take all the kids to the nearest river, which is the biggest river in Cuba, Cauto River.
Cauto?
Cauto is the name, Rio Cauto, which is, you know, the biggest river in Cuba. So he took us around noontime, and we spent 2-3 hours, the whole family,
Just in and out,
swimming
playing in the water.
in the water, and it was pretty good. Sometimes my father was too tired to go and says, "Oh, no river today." So we have to stay around, play ball, play anything. You know, it was happy life.
And you were the third oldest?
Yes, I have my brother Hector, who was the oldest. Then came Raquel, my sister, the only sister. Then I came, and another 4 other, you know, kids.
And
Rolando, Oscar, Humberto, y Gustavo under me, you know. I was the third oldest.
do you remember any of your friends?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of friends.
Did you go to school?
Oh yeah.
What school? Do you remember?
We went to public school until I was about 10, 11 years old.
Then what happened?
Then there was you know, a paid school, you know, another school that you have to pay to get.
Private school?
No, it's well, it's sort of in between high school. You could go up to 10th grade or something like
Oh,
that.
like middle school.
Yeah, but you know, my father had to pay about
7
don't
times
remember.
that.
Huh?
You had to pay for all 7 kids to go?
Well, no, because they're all younger than me, and I was the Raquel was going to. We all go to school. Then after we grew up a little, she went to study to Santiago de Cuba. Santiago is the second biggest city in Cuba. And she went to some relative in Santiago to go to.
Do you want ketchup?
Huh?
Do you want ketchup?
Yeah, a little bit. Pepper?
Salt?
A little bit.
And she went to school in Santiago? And where did you go?
I went to the one in you know, in my town.
And what, do you say this was like a high school?
Well, after well, in the meantime, around 19, you know, when I was about 13, 14, we moved to Santiago from I have an aunt that owned a bakery in Santiago. So we rented a big house for the whole family across the street from the bakery.